Okay. So yeah, so all people who are watching the replay and missed it, I'm sorry, but I gave you this formula for eternal youth. But yeah, so the science is really sort of showing that all this sort of stuff works. But what I really like about it was he was talking about how the book that I'm reading, it's called Cured. So it's a lot about these kind of people who have self-healed and that they don't understand it. And I really like how he describes it, because he's saying it's not hocus pocus, it's not like some fluffy. It's just that we as scientists, we don't understand yet what people are doing to be able to support themselves heal. So it's not a miracle or whatever, it's just we don't understand yet. We don't, yeah. I've forgotten the point now. Should do a bit more yoga. Oh yeah, this was the thing, awareness. So a lot of the people who have had this experience of healing, just checking that we're not going to fire, that they've had the experience of healing, have an awareness, and they're able to sort of sense in their own body what works for them. So there's information about diet, there was information about stress, there's loads of different aspects of it, but having that awareness.
Laura, you're muted.
Oh my God. Well, I'm here, and I didn't mute you, Tanya. How are you not muted? Oh, you won't mute yourself to tell me I was muted. Thank you. Okay, so this thing about what we're doing, how we're working now, about this way of becoming aware in our body, to be able to feel your feet. And so we're not just doing poses, and just doing the poses is really useful for our joints. It's really useful for our range of movement. But this idea of being able to get that little bit deeper and sense how it is in our body and choose what we want to do. So this is how we've been doing yoga now for a couple of years. The advantage of that is that it expands beyond the yoga mat, so that within your life you can kind of get a feeling, a sense of what feels nice for you, and you can move towards more health. You can be aware of what is stressing you. You can be conscious and feel the stress in your body and go, maybe I'm going to change what I do a little bit and just do it slightly differently. So with all of that in mind, let's do a little bit of yoga instead of just chatting about it. So find yourself into a comfortable position, be it seated or lying down. You can lie down this week. For all the people who've been wanting to lie down for weeks, and I've made you sit and stand and do all sorts of things. So whatever feels good for you, come into that place. Didn't say hello to you yet, Nicola, did I? Hello, Nicola. Fantastic. And as you settle yourself down, again, we're going to work a little bit with this whole idea of awareness. So physically we are working within the side body, but find this awareness. So notice, have you settled yet? And what's kind of cool about doing yoga at home in the same space that you've been doing other things is you have to really practice this transition to I'm here now. And so find your breath. Allowing yourself to lounge. And notice how it is that you feel. So take that in the big sense of the word, feel. Where is it that you have sensations? Can you notice what part of you is physically connected to the ground? And can you notice what part of you is not? Can you hear the fire crackle in the background just for December? And then look to bring your breath to wherever it is that you feel most alive. So that might be your tummy and your heart. It might be the part of you that's connected to the ground. But notice where you have sensation, where you feel sensation, and bring the breath to that place. And now let's play a little bit with opposite. Bring the breath to the places that you, the dark side, the places that you haven't maybe connected to. So I'll call them and see. You can kind of bring the breath there if it feels right for you, if it's all, and you can stay in places if that's better for you, or if you want to explore somewhere. Bringing the breath first in through the mouth, the nose, the back of the throat. Noticing that. The breath into the shoulders. And then into the lungs. These two beautiful, big, abundant. Bring the breath to the heart, which is snuggled between the two lungs, held. To the diaphragm, this amazing muscle, kind of like a balloon, simply supporting life. To the mid-back, the bony part, see how that is, and the lower back. To the abdomen, so your stomach, large intestine, small intestine. I gave you them in the wrong order, please forgive me. Your womb, your kidneys at the back, the kidneys at the back of the ribs, pancreas, liver. You can't imagine where they are, just have this intention of bringing the breath to it. Pelvic floor. The entire torso. Sensing the breath. See if you, when you bring the breath in, can you let it fill the entire torso? So from the shoulders, the side body particularly, down into the pelvis, the pelvic floor. Into the legs, feet, arms, hands. And then see what it's like to have allow the entire body breathe. Let it pulse, let it, and an inhale, allowing your entire body expand. On an exhale, releasing, letting go of everything, allowing the weight to come, allowing the ground to support you. Or if you're sitting, maybe it's the bones or that are supporting you. Just taking a moment or two, seeing if you can fill your entire body with your consciousness, if you can be aware of the entire body, and if not, then that's fine, but notice how easy or difficult is it for you. And here in this place, I invite you to set an intention for yourself. An intention for this practice. What would you like to give? What gift from within you would you like to give yourself today? I heard a beautiful quote where they were talking about living their life to be in service, to be connected, and to fill it with compassion. So you can rub that one if you like, or part of it, if any of those words call to you. And then just let it go. Our job is to set an intention and then release the intention to the universe, or whatever language you want to use for that, and then just do our job. And what's our job? Our job is just to be human, to take the next breath, to be of service, and to meet each other with compassion. And so let's help taking this next breath. We're going to play into the side body today, which, well, we'll forward back the whole lot, but side body particularly, I would like you to notice today. And so from your own, depending on how you are, you're going to adjust these whether you're sitting or lying. But beginning with the head, allowing it to go from side to side or side, forward and side. So if you're lying down, you might just turn your head from side to side. If you're sitting, you can make these lovely circles. Be careful about bringing the head back just yet. It's too early in the practice, in my opinion, unless you have a little bit of support. We're typically compressed in the back of the neck, so it's a bit early to be taking the head back. After completing with your head and neck, come into your shoulders. What might be nice is the somatic movement. So where we take it, we go 3 times in each direction. So taking shoulders to your ears 3 times and back again. So not going in the opposite, just one direction at a time. 3 times, rolling them forward. So extending the back, you can feel the shoulder blades spread like wings. Three times, rolling the shoulders back. This is the hard one to do if you're lying down. Not really sure why I picked this order. Just keep me on your toes. And then 3 times, dropping the shoulders. So arms down by your side, or if you're lying down, you'll feel like your arms are traveling down to your toes. And put them all together. And deleting the clock. So if you imagine that was 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, putting them all together. And as you make these circles, notice, are there places that you lose it? Are there places that it come back? And what I mean by lose it is, does it kind of go 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, skip 4 o'clock and jump back the whole way to 5 o'clock and continue on its journey? Is one shoulder different to the other? And it's worth taking your time with this, maybe doing one shoulder at a time and then the other one. Maybe taking your arms out wider if you want to extend that a little bit more. And you can do that lying down as well. Don't have to be sitting up. But the shoulders, particularly if we're sitting all day, get very tense. From there, coming into the side body. So lying down, you're going to do banana. If you're sitting, you're going to slide one to one side. And this is so nice if you're doing this for Gwen. This kind of movement is really good for giving you some space. And if you're doing this, I would be doing this sitting on a ball or a little ball, or a little stool, something to keep you near the ground. So releasing into the side body. And then to the lower body. So if you're lying down, windscreen wipers becomes very easy. If you're sitting up, it can be nice just to do a little gentle windscreen wipers. So taking your legs a little bit wider. And then hands and toes, hands and feet. So with both feet and hands at the same time. And take your time, make your way through it. You don't have to stay with me. You know where we're going. We're looking to just take the whole body. So you're working with feet and hands. So if you're sitting, you might want to put your legs out straight so you can point and flex your toes. You can't see mine. The room's a bit smaller than the studio. I'm pointing and flexing. That's me. And roll, rotating arms, wrists, and ankles. Now, here you go. How about this? Take your right wrist and your left ankle, rotate them clockwise. And then can you take your left foot, opposite, you know what I'm trying to say. So you end up, I'm not going to tell you the trick. I'm going to let you get your head wrecked for a second. And then reverse. You got a rhythm going. And then shake it out. Cool. Okay. So from here, I'm going to invite you all to meet us in to a kneeling position. So making your way up to a kneeling position. Let's do a little bit here. We haven't been doing this for a long time. So tucking your toes, sitting back on the tucked toes, if that is comfortable for you. Can you see me, Mary? Okay. So tucking back, sitting back on the tucked toes. So where you just up on your toes, and that would be great fun. And then paddle out, and then sit back on your flat toes. And have a little rock from side to side, and then walk forward, taking yourself into a nice hare pose. And this is where are we starting? So have a little wriggle, have a little move. Lengthen through the back, easing it out. And then when you're ready, come to all fours. From all fours, allow your hands come in, travel up your body, reach the sky, and open with a little back bend. And then reverse back out of it. To pose the child. From pose the child to hare. From hare to all fours. Allowing the hands come in, up the body, reaching for the sky, opening wide, back bend. On the back bend, moving your butt, moving from your legs, connecting back down through pose of the child. Now just notice when you get to pose of the child, notice that that's a curling forward. You're rounding everything. From that, you're lengthening then into a flat back when you're in hare. So when you're in hare, you're in a flat back. From hare to all fours, keeping that neutral back, sliding in. Now here, I want you to really notice as you come in, see can you make this movement flow? Can you take the power from your feet, your legs? And now we're in a back arch, the opposite to where we pose the child. And then reversing back down. Pose the child first, round it, length, lift. tuck your toes. And we're going to do that same sequence one more time with tucked toes and see what it's like to lead from your toes. Still coming in, toes are still connected, so feel your toes so your whole body is connected. Coming back down, rolling back down, pose the child with tucked toes. And forward into here. And back to table. You feel a little bit different with tucked toes. Even though you just touch your toes, it's not going to be that different. And yet it's very different. Excellent. So let's play a little bit more. Let's see what tries to fall off. Okay, so from tabletop, see, but again, just playing with your cat-cow. Initially, just see what it's like, taking it from the point of view of the spine and spine. So arching the spine and rounding the spine. We're working with bones. I'm going to get you then to tuck your toes again in this pose. So this time, as you start from cow into the toes, in through the legs, see, does that feel any different? And this time you can bring a little bit of rounding, a little bit of hinging forward and back. And maybe connect with the fingers. So you can normally I have the hands out flat, but you can kind of cup them. So just like your toes are cupped, your fingers are cupped. So you can lead from your fingers in the other direction. Beautiful. And now you do just 2 more rounds of this, but this time I want you not to lead from the bones. So don't think of it in terms of bones. Don't think of it in terms of muscles. See if you can find it in terms of your organs that we're playing with. So from your digestive tract. So from the top of your mouth, the whole way through, use your digestive tract down into your body, into your belly, and into your butt. And reverse it back. So either think of it in terms of there's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Diaphragm. It's a diaphragm at the top of the mouth, at the throat, across the chest, and then at the pelvic floor. See what it's like to send the movement through the soft spine is another description I use for it sometimes. So that up your esophagus. And can you have kind of a flow? This is so nice for digestion. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to meet back again at in all fours. And this time, I'm going to get you to come again. See if you can do it leading from your belly, but that may not make sense to you. Roll yourself back, and you roll yourself back, you end up in child. From child, sending yourself forward. See if you can use your organs to do that. Bringing yourself forward to neutral and taking your right leg out. Firstly, tucking the toes. Once you tuck the toes, you can kind of hinge forward and back. And so into the back of that front of that leg. You can feel through the back of the leg, maybe lifting the leg, bringing it forward to your nose. And then bringing it back. Bringing it forward, and the next time you bring it forward, maybe allow it to step forward. Oh my dear Lord, the heat in here. So allowing it to step forward. And so we're into a lunge. And playing then with your lunge. If you want a little bit more bite, you can take your back knee off the ground, just let it hover off the ground, or take it up further, whichever. And then replace the knee back on the ground and we're going to come into gate. So gate is kind of cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to leave the front foot where it is. You're going to walk your hands around to the center. And so the back foot is going to hinge to behind you. The front foot stays where it is. The back foot swings with you. And then you get to step up. So now when you step up, the front leg is out at 90 degrees from you. Beautiful. So from here again, you can hinge in and out a little bit if you like. Good. Stick up leg warmers. I came here in Uggs and in big woolly jumper. And from here now, the next thing is you're going to take the back hand to the ground and then come up and over. So see what it feels like. We're looking through this entire side body. What does it feel like to take the hand up straight maybe? Or maybe taking it over. So this is gate pose. Bringing the front hand to meet the hand on the ground, walk yourself back around until you're back into your lunge. Release the heel back and just see how it is. Notice it's different on both sides of the body. Feel what it's like on both sides of the body. We're going to do that one more time because the first time it's like, I don't know which is my front leg, I don't know which is my back leg, I don't know what I'm going to do. So we're going to stay on the same side. So in my case, my left hand is near the video, my right hand is away from the video. So that's all we'll do. So I'm taking my right leg back, lifting my right leg into the air, taking the right leg forward to touch the nose, taking the right leg back, finding that neutral kind of arrow position, reversing right leg into my nose through, so I'm stepping through, right leg on the ground for lunge. Hinging in and out of my lunge. Now, right leg stays exactly where it is. My two hands are going to move towards the left. I'm going to walk myself around. As I walk around, at some point, my left foot is going to have to rotate on the heel. Beautiful. Fantastic. And then I can keep walking maybe and opening up. Slightly different way of getting into it. And so, and what can be nice is to take that, straighten out that right leg if you want the full gate pose. See what you want to do with your right hand. You can take it over your ear if you want that length. You can take it to the top of the, to the ceiling. You can take it down by your body. But like triangle, we're not looking to collapse in. So do what feels nice for your shoulders, for your body. Toe up or right toe down. And just check that your head isn't hanging. I know mine in the video is hanging. So keep your head active. Whenever it's enough for you, whenever you have enough, you take your right hand down to meet your left hand and walk them the whole way around until you end up back where you started, rotation with the back knee, stepping back and checking out for you, how is it on both sides of the body. Don't worry, we get to do it again. So I'm going to turn around because otherwise I'm going to be facing my back too. So I'm going to take the left leg. Take the left leg out first, tuck the toes on the ground and lengthen into it, just sort of hinging into it. Take the left leg into the air. Then you can play with this. Flat pelvis or not. Take the left knee towards the nose and back again. And the next time you take it towards the nose, step it through so that we're into a lunge. And then play with the lunge on this side. Easing and releasing. You can sit back, you can sit forward, you can have hands on the ground. You can take the back knee off the ground if you want it, but if you want a little bit more bite in it. So, and then whenever it is that you're happy to move on from lunge, leave the back knee on the ground. Untuck the back toe, so that in my case it's my right foot. My left foot stays exactly where it is, pointing along the end of the mat. I walk both hands to the right, walk them the whole way around. At some point I'm going to need to rotate my right knee. Continue walking the whole way around to the right, and then I get to open up into my gate pose. Release and play. Decide for you, the front, the left leg, do you want to take it out straight? Do you want to have the foot heel up? With the left hand, down by your side, up to the sky, or over the ears. See what it feels like to get a straight line, an arrow from fingers to toes, or a bow. Bringing the hand back, putting two hands together on the ground. Another way to open up from here, which is really nice, so leaving both hands on the ground for a second, leave your right hand where it is, and take your left hand as if you're an archer, opening up, pulling back the bow. That can be a really nice way of opening across. So you're allowing that left hand run up your arm, across your chest, and continue its journey into the air. Whenever you are complete playing with gate on this side, bring the two hands together, walk them back the whole way around, and you end up back in your lunge. From your lunge, all fours, pose the child, and just see how it is. How are you feeling? Let's do that side one more time. Again, the first time you do that movement, even though you've just done it on the other side, this side isn't necessarily going to know where to go. Reaching forward into hair, from hair coming up into tabletop. And tabletop, balancing on the right side, allowing the left leg come back, tuck the toe, hinge into it and out of it. From there, taking it to, lifting it to the air. You can play here, you can turn to the side, you can do peacock or cat and play. And then whenever you're complete playing, bringing it through to your nose and bringing it to the lunge. When you're in your lunge, play again. In the lunge, seeing what your body needs. It might be that you want to come forward and even come into a back arch. See what feels nice. And then whenever you're happy, whenever you're ready to go to gate, left leg stays where it is. Both hands come to the right hand side of the body. Both hands walk their way around, halfway around. The right leg is going to need to swivel. Two hands end up on the right hand side. Imagine your right hand is staying where it is. Your left hand, imagine it's a bow. Drawing back an archer's bow. until it comes to the ceiling, and my hair is in this. Let's see how that is. What is it like to allow your entire body to go? What is it like to take your body straight as an arrow? So it can be a bow, or it can be an arrow. And then whenever it is that you're complete, both hands come to the ground on the right hand side, walking them back to center, and bringing it the whole way back to your lunge. From your lunge, stepping back through hair. And this time take a pause in hair, because hair is really nice. It gets that length back through the body. That looks really nice. Fantastic. And then from here, we're going to come through into pigeon. So from pigeon, if you can take your leg forward, or if you want to come into dog, to take it forward. But we're starting in tabletop, and you're going to start with the right leg, taking your back, and then taking it forward so it comes between the hands. We'll do that front arm for you. So taking it forward, comes between the two hands, and then you get to settle yourself down. So once you come into pigeon, see what it's like for you. So what is it that you need? You want to keep the pelvis level. So if you find that you rock down, then pop a support underneath. Open up the leg as much as makes sense for your body. If this is not nice on your knees, then don't do it. Just roll over onto your back and do the same thing on your back. If you're pregnant, once you get to the third trimester, you're looking at having a lot more relaxant in your body, and so you can lengthen more than maybe you want to. So all of the poses, you'll want to bring them back, pair them right back. And then you can have a sleeping pigeon. So you can just allow yourself lie down and have a little sleep. If you want a little bit more, lift the back knee, tuck the toes a little bit, lengthen the back leg just the tiniest bit. You only need the tiniest bit of movement in this pose, and it will make a big difference. Fantastic. And then, particularly for anybody who's been sitting, but anybody who likes that bit of bite, we're going to come back onto your hands. So you can sit lying down if you don't want to do this. Come back onto your hands, onto your arms. As you do, see can you release, allow the back to arch. And actually, I was practicing this today as I was playing with the class, planning the class, and I had blocks. Now, unfortunately, I'm not at home anymore, so I don't have the blocks. But if you have the equivalent of blocks that you can put under your hands, it's really nice because it just gives you that extra bit of a lift. And then from there, pick up the back leg. Decide for you what you want to do. You can stay at that, or you can reach back. Releasing the shoulder as you do that. And so this typically you may experience this in the quads to the front of the body, as well as the shoulders, well, the whole body. And then when you're ready, releasing that down, releasing the foot. If you're in sleeping pigeon, take yourself up onto your arms, tuck your toes. Personally, I love just coming back through dog. Easing it out through dog, and then switching sides. Left leg between the hands, right leg out straight, popping something under to make sure you're balanced if you're falling in, and then have a little lie down. If you want to go a little bit more, you tuck your toes, length, and take the knee off the ground, and just a tiniest little bit of length. But you will feel it, you'll know what I mean. If you want to come into the stronger stretch, I didn't say stretch to this, the stronger pose. Allow your body, allow yourself to come up onto your arms. If you have blocks to place your hands on, that's even nicer. Take the back leg up. See how it is. Stay there. Or potentially release the shoulder back and hold onto the foot. Find the option that feels nicest for your body. Follow the instructions of your body. Releasing that, we all will meet in pigeon on two arms, tucking the back toe, lifting through into dog, have a little wriggle. And bringing yourself back to child's. When you're in child's pose, you can completely release, lengthen. So even though it brings you into that forward fold position, the forward bend, which is really nice, particularly for this time of the night. If pose a child isn't comfortable for you, maybe look at spreading the legs wider so that you can sort of sit down between your knees, or maybe putting a blanket. Sometimes I love having a blanket or a bolster, sort of lying on a blanket or a bolster. But what I'm looking for you to be able to do is to find complete release. So releasing across those shoulder blades where they hold tension. So we have done opening, we've opened them up. Now just let them melt. So even though it feels like rounded shoulders, what we're looking to do is create space in the back body that we can then go into that space. So notice where is it that you can melt and where is it that you feel restricted. And this is just information. It's not good or bad. Simply information. And so whenever it is that you're ready, we're going to come out of that pose of the child. So as you come out of it, use your leg muscles to bring you up. Stay rounded until you're sitting back on your hunkers. And then very consciously, like a bud, unroll the spine, open up the arms, open up the shoulders. And do that just 2 times where you're rolling down, opening the back of the body, then using these strong leg muscles to bring you up, vertebra by vertebra, arms into the air, hands crossed, then open up the front of the body, bringing the shoulder blades together at the back of the body. Rolling down. The next time you roll down, don't come into child's pose, come into hare. So that's we have a flat back for hare. From hare to tabletop, up tabletop to dog. This time, take a moment in dog, play in dog. And as you play in dog, what I want you to do is to bend one knee deeply so that you can really come into that side body. It's side body that we're playing with tonight. And so feel how that really is a fantastic way of coming into the side body. You bend one knee deeply, you may be able to take the other heel towards the ground. And so you've got this length from the fingertips, feel from the fingertips the whole way through the side body. Can you feel that connection? Under the arms, along under the ribs, down at the side of the abdomen, into the hips, down the leg to the heel, feet in the heel, the toes. So move as slowly as makes sense for you to have sensation through the entire side body. Fantastic. And then from our dog, we're going to step forward with the right. Release the left heel to the ground, rotate it slightly so that we can come to standing with this wide leg. So again, use the leg muscles, engage the pelvic floor as we come to standing. And you just go back, get ahead. And play here in this sort of more warrior-y type of position. Front leg fully out, back leg at somewhere towards the corner of the room. So feel what feels nice for you so you can really hold this space. Good. Wriggle just a little bit. Move, wriggle with this solid stability of the bottom of the body. And then let's look to straighten that front leg and see how that feels. I'm straightening the front leg, bending and straightening. The next time I'm going to make it slightly shorter stance. So straightening and bending. The next time we straighten, come up through the body and then tilt. Heading towards some version of triangle. And repeat. So bend the front knee, then straighten the front knee, and allow that movement pass through the pelvic floor, through the pelvis, and then hinge towards the front. See what feels okay for your arm. It might be that it comes down, the bottom arm comes down. And see what feels for the top arm. It might come up. It could come over your ear. Regardless, then rotate around. Both feet to the center. And just enjoy a nice forward fold. Releasing any tension that we still have. Bending both knees. Coming up through your goddess pose to standing. From our goddess pose, just find both feet, because we're going to do that on the other side now. So see that you have these feet solidly on the ground. Then into your goddess pose, back into your forward fold. And walk to the other side. Rotating the left foot out fully, the right foot into 45 degrees or whatever the equivalent is for you. Bending that front knee, both hands either side of that front knee, and here's where you get to use your power through the legs, engage the pelvic floor, feel like you can know where the movement is coming from. For me, I can feel it all through, I can feel my foot active, I can feel all of this leg active, and so from here, and then hinging up. Notice if you can feel where the movement originates from. Well, it's a lot of places, but. And then again on this side, hinging, releasing. Hinging and releasing. Now I'm not in a great position here, so I'm going to rotate my arm around so that I can become a little bit more centered. I'm not going to be like on the books, because if I do that, my front knee is going to fall in. But I just want to be a little bit more, and you can see on this side, I'm a lot more diagonal on this side than I was on the other side. It's just the way it is, the way my body's built today. So then whenever I'm ready, whenever you're ready, look to see what it's like to straighten that front leg. And I need to come in a little bit nearer. Bending, straightening, and then starting to hinge. Doing that a few times. Bending the knee from the foot, through the leg, to the pelvis. Hinge the pelvis like it. And then my spine is just moving because my pelvis is moving. And now I particularly would like a little bit more on this side, so I'm going to allow my spine to curl now to the side. And the hands can come to the T, and they can come out of my ear, or it can come back down my side. Now that catches my shoulder, so that doesn't work so well for me, but do what feels nice in your body. Length all through this side body, compression all through the other side. Bending the knee to come out of it, hinging up. Let's go one more time. Release the shoulders. Bend the knee and straighten the knee. Find the alignment that works for you, for your pelvis, so that your spine is coming straight out of your pelvis, and your pelvis is as open as makes sense. From the feet, through the leg, up into the pelvis, rotate the pelvis, and so I'm coming into a bend. Spine at this point is still in alignment. Now I'm going to allow my spine to bend. So I'm going to side bend. And then choose the arm position that suits you at this moment. Keeping the head active, don't lose that hand. And then this time to come out of it, come the whole way down, rotate the whole way down, bend the front knee, walk around to the center, and so into a wide-legged forward fold again. Bending the knees deeply to come out of it. Use your goddess to come out of it. Use your thighs to come out of it. Release it down. Heel toe, and shake it off. Give it a little bit of a wiggle it. Just a little bit. Oh, I can't wait till I have music again in the yoga studio. Okay, so from here, let's see about balancing. I had great fun this morning. Well, actually, it was yesterday morning. I needed a pot to defrost the car, so I had a pot of water. I had the car keys and I had only one shoe on. I was trying to get the other shoe on, so I was trying to open the door, put my foot into the shoe, and hold the pot. I didn't notice. It was actually my daughter that decided that I had great balance. So that's what we're going to try today. So I want you to hold a pot in your hand. I'm serious, just, have an imaginary pot. So this one's heavy. Hold your car keys in the other hand. Now don't hold them so tight so that you're not gripped. Then simply take one foot in the air and bring it across because your shoe is over this side. See, can you get your shoe on? Okay, I'll make it really tall. See if you can take your leg up. Now, can you hold the pot steady as you reach over this way to get the door handle without spilling a drop of water? How are you doing? And then come back. Oh. Put the pot down, put the keys down, put your feet down. So balance and side bend. Let's try it with the other foot. So that shoe is now on. We need to put the other shoe on. Not what shoe to put on that one. So this one. So the other foot becomes a standing foot this time. Figure out which foot that is. Put the pot of water in the opposite hand. Keys. Foot in the air. Balance your pot of water as you bring the foot across to put the shoe on, and then reach to open the door. So you're bending, reaching, balancing, and you're, whoa, I just spilled on the water. And you're keeping your water from spilling if at all possible. Whenever you're ready, back to center. Line your body back up. Can you feel how nice that is to come home to center? Release the hands, shake them out, and release the foot. Shake it out. Let's try it again. This time we'll call it like a more natural yogi kind of term. We'll call it tree. So you can take a little bit of support this time. Allowing your arms to come out as branches. Oops. Let me just plug this in case. Oh my goodness. Anyway, here. Sorry, hopefully you're still balancing. Sorry, I have a panic attack because the. Okay, so we were arm tree. So you've got one leg on, you've got your 3 arms, and now it's wind. The wind is blowing. So as the wind blows, see what it's like to come from one side. Woohoo! Back to center and go the other side. And back to center and shake it out. Balancing while moving is not trivial. Balancing while moving and your phone is about to lose charge is even less trivial. Take your foot, opposite leg, bring it to wherever it is you're playing with on this side. Allow the arms out. It's quite still now, no tree, no wind yet, and now the wind is starting to blow. Let your leaves all shimmer in the wind. Let it shake a little bit more, and now the wind is really gusting. See how much can you move in one direction before you fall over, and how much can you move in the other direction. So what do we need? You need to be rooted, grounded, back to the center. Release it out, shake it out. Have a little shake. Actually, that's fantastic idea. I'm talking you now. Reach it up and release it out. There you go. And so as we start to bring the class, so we want to start to wind down now. So having been blown around the place in that lovely winter and storm, we're going to come back in to beside the fire and to a nice restorative end. So let's bring the energy down, take your hands to your heart, and let's do Tree of Light. So on an inhale, taking the arms up, spreading them out, releasing them down, they're making these circles. So after you know what you're doing, you can just let your eyes close. Continuing to do this 3 times. Taking your time, moving as slowly as possible. The next time you come back to the heart, reverse. Taking the energy and bringing it down to your feet. From there, filling up on the ground, from the world, bringing it down through your body. I love not actually getting my hands touched, just keeping them a little bit apart so I can get that energy ball thing going, and I really like that. If that's something you want to play with, then do that. Just don't let the hands actually touch. You bring them down, feeling like you're pushing the energy down, or the force or water or whatever it is that makes sense to you. Gathering it up. And the next time you come to heart, pause. And if you're playing with the energy ball, then don't let your hands touch. Just get to play. If you're not playing with the energy ball, allow yourself to come to namaste. But if you're playing with the energy ball, just play. See how big you can make it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, see can you find your hands tingle. You know, sometimes rubbing your hands together can help that. And then I'm going to invite you to take this ball of energy, if you have it, and place it wherever makes sense to you. Chinese will take it to their dentally, into their creativity chakra just here. If you want to take it to your heart,
your throat, wherever it is you want to bring you in tonight. And then just be, simply being in Tadasana, mountain pose. Knowing you have absolutely nothing that you need to do at this moment other than stand and breathe. Or even lie down and breathe, but just to be, to breathe. And so what we're going to do in a moment, so don't move just yet, but we're going to come to the ground. You're going to do a twist and then Shavasana. So have a picture in your mind's eye. Where is all the gear that you need? Don't move yet, just kind of have a plan. So that when you start to move, that you can bring this stillness with you, because this is a real gift. To be able to walk through your world, through your day, meeting people, and yet stay connected to the stillness. Because this is your stillness, it is within you. So see how easy or difficult is it for you right now to rearrange yourself while staying connected. We're going to do a twist first. Don't put your blanket on until we're done the twist, but have it to hands. You put socks on and jumpers on, that kind of gear. And so very gently rearrange yourself so you find yourself on the ground in a moment, ready to play with the twist. And so you get to see this room from so many different perspectives today. So the twist I'm going to suggest that you do, see if you can see it, coming onto the ground, you can have two knees together. That's one option, with your arms into a T. You can have your bottom leg out straight, is a little bit stronger, or you can play with the roll. So make your choice with whatever makes sort of sense for your body. So whenever you're ready, you lay yourself down, either bending both legs or just one leg up. Allow yourself, bring that knee across, allowing your arms out to a T. And here's another place that you've got a choice. It's actually, if you only turn the head the opposite way to the legs, but in actual fact, if you want to work a little bit more into your shoulder, turn your head the same way as the legs and see how that is. This is your twist. So take your time to find what feels nicest for you. And even I find, for me, coming into a twist, it takes a few minutes to sort of settle into that particular shape. We've done a lot of length through the side body tonight, but not so much rotation. So taking your time. As you find your way into it, you might want to rotate a little bit more. So you might want to maybe even bind it, place a hand on the knee. That can be a nice way of increasing the movement, if that's of interest to you. But the main aim here now is to come back to the saddle. And then whenever you're ready, in your own time, I invite you to change sides. So what does that mean? That means engaging the pelvic floor before you move these legs. Moving your legs, they're quite heavy, so really be careful with yourself. Be nice to yourself. Bringing them both to center, maybe have a little rock and roll at center before you go the opposite way. And again, when you're on this side, see what feels nice for you. It might be one leg over the other. It might be both legs bent. And it might change. As time moves on, it may change. Taking another moment in that pose in that way. And then very gently looking to take yourself from that position. So what does that mean? Pelvic floor. Look after yourself. Hugging the knees in as you roll over. And if you want to play a little bit of a happy baby, you want to have a little rock and roll, whatever you do now, make sure it's symmetric so that you've got both knees to your chest as you roll, or as you make circles with your knees, or as you come into happy baby. Let your body lead the way. I'm so glad I have you all addicted to happy baby. I had a student come to us, I hadn't taught her in, I don't know, 10 years. And she came to one of my classes and she said, once she got into happy baby, she remembered. It's like muscle memory came back to her. Oh, this is Laura. And now in your own way, decide how it is you want to be for your Shavasana. We played a little bit with orbits. So if you want to try out being on your belly, see if that's for you today. And also this rounding of the shoulders. So coming onto your belly might be a nice way to do Shavasana. But if it does, maybe you need a little bit of support under your pelvis or under your belly. Or just come flat onto your back. It is always, always a luxury to simply lie flat on your back, warm and released. A little bit of space between your legs, a little bit of space between your arms and your body. And then come back to your breath. As you come back to your breath, let that breath fill your entire body. And as you exhale, let it release. As you let the breath release, let the body release and melt. Absolutely no holding required. And notice now if there's any what I call dark spots at the start, anywhere that hasn't got release, and if there is anywhere that's calling you that feels a little bit still, a bit kind of disconnected, maybe bring the breath directly and consciously to that area, and then just let it all go. You know, that might be where it is for this week. As always, next week or tomorrow. to live a life for connection, being of service, and filled with compassion. Reconnect now with the intention that you had set for yourself at the beginning of the class. And see for you, what would you like to bring with you from this class? So the visitors that you had during the class, anything that you want to take with you from the class, or any intention you'd like to set for yourself for this coming week. How can you be of service to yourself and another? Fill your life with compassion. Be compassionate to yourself so that you can then share that compassion with another. And find this connection that we all have. And so allowing that intention, just breathing that intention into your body, taking it into every cell. As you take it into every cell, then simply releasing it, letting it go. And then just doing your job. Putting one foot in front of the other. Taking one conscious breath followed by another. And so we're going to seal the practice. You can stay as you are. Or if you want to come back to seated, then seal it together. Yeah, but either way, we will seal this practice for this evening. Get our hands together. We offer peace. Om Shanti.